What's head to toe healing?
It's a method or practice that I sort of invented some years ago where we actually get after the whole body, no matter what it is that you have. And we do that by combining nutrition, by combining postural alignment therapy, and by combining mindfulness training. So, what we're doing is we're going after the vehicle, the fuel that goes into the vehicle, and the onboard computer that controls the vehicle. And in my experience, when you get after those three, the whole body heals fast.
So it's the whole mind, body, spirit thing where, you know, it's not it's not segregated, siloed areas like the cardiologist and the neurologist and the whatever.
Right, right. And that's a big part of my message in my books and my videos and whatnot is if you go to the medical system, what I call the medical monopoly, then they're going to look at you through the eyes of specialty. So the foot doctor isn't on the same page as the brain doctor. The brain doctor isn't on the same page as the heart doctor, and the heart doctor's not on the same page as the spine doctor. And it's just, in my opinion, it just makes no sense. So what we do is we get after the whole entire body. And once we teach people how to do this, it's a practice. You keep doing it and doing it. You don't stop. So, healing is a verb. It's a verb. So you keep practicing head to toe healing and you keep your body in a state of regeneration.
All right, so say more about that the person practices. So they come see you or see one of your practitioners. What happens? And then what's their homework, for lack of a better term, for them to do to keep practicing it on themselves?
Yeah. So we used to take one-on-one clients. We no longer do that because we've been attacked pretty viciously by some people. And so what I did is I started a virtual learning membership. And so people come into the membership and it's very much like a school. So we have classes, we have courses, we have community, and we just show them how to do this practice. And so they're healing themselves. And it gets us out of the zone of practicing without a license.
Okay. So you were attacked by the medical establishment?
Oh yeah, and vigilantes, some people get on their high horse and they're just like, "This guy's dangerous," and they report me and they send threats and stuff like that. So it's surprisingly dangerous business.
Interesting. Goodness. Okay, so I agree with you. I do energetic healing. I'm a medical intuitive. It's like I'm a human MRI, Kevin, and I can see inside somebody's body with their permission, broken bones, torn ligaments, viral infections, bacterial infections, cancer, whatever. And I always tell them nobody heals anybody else. We all heal ourselves.
That's
And
right.
the work that I do, the work that allopathic medicine, that Eastern medicine that you're doing, we're all helping the person heal themselves. And I like to use the analogy of you go to the emergency room with a big laceration in your leg. Well, they're going to stitch it up, but they're not going to make your skin grow back. You make your own skin grow back. And I
That's
think
right.
that's a simplified analogy to help people understand. Can you give us what some of the modalities are that you teach to help people be able to heal their bodies and from all those different categories that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, it's just the 3 that I mentioned. So it's clinical nutrition, postural alignment therapy, and then mindfulness training.
Okay, can you say a little bit more about each one?
So postural alignment therapy is about getting the muscles back in order because the muscles are what moves the bones. So when your muscles get out of whack, so to speak, there are compensations that happen and your knees could be pulled this way and your shoulders can be pulled that way and your pelvis can be pulled this way and it puts us in a problematic posture. And so postural alignment therapy corrects that and it's something that has to be done daily.
How does one do that? With stretches?
There's some stretches, there's some yoga moves, there's um, there's an array of different exercises, and we have practitioners that put them into a format, like a protocol. And so, yeah, for example, if somebody had a headache, it would be certain exercises in a row and in order.
And does it vary in times? Like, if you have a headache, it'll take you 5 minutes. If you have a backache, it might take you 15 or 20?
Yeah, it's possible, but the general idea is to do it every day because, sleeping, sitting, being at a desk, it all, muscle memory, it all locks us into place. Right now, where both of us are sitting down and we're using our psoas muscle and we're using all sorts of muscles that overlap joints, and it's not that natural. I mean, not for an hour. It's not really.
Yeah.
You think about it. So, we're in the squatting position right now. So, postural therapy is all about correcting everything because throughout the day you're gonna be in positions that aren't natural.
'Cause we don't know too many cavemen that sat at desks looking
That's
at a
right.
screen, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Or laid in a bed with a pillow that, props their head up or something like that,
interesting. When you compare the exercises that you're proposing versus, for instance, chiropractic care, how do they go hand in hand? Is one gonna address something that chiropractic care doesn't? I think their philosophy is you get the skeletal system aligned, and then the muscles go back into the proper position. It sounds to me like yours is the inverse of that.
Yeah, we're the opposite. Muscles move bones,
Interesting.
and we don't have to touch anybody.
Okay. All right. So for somebody to do the daily practice, how long does that take? And can they do it at home on their own? Do they need are they doing it on a yoga mat or just on the floor, or how does that work?
Either or. In our membership, we have classes. We have 4 therapy classes a week. So people log on through Zoom and they do their thing at home while the teacher runs them through. And then they can take, the routine they like and do that all week and then switch it up.
And tell us about the food component part of your plan.
Yeah, we help people get off what we call the poor 4 foods. That's gluten, that's oils, that's fried, that's fake. And then we pump them full of nutrition. We pump them full of high quality supplements. And that can be very protocol based. Sometimes it can be cookie cutter. Sometimes it could be very routine and protocol based. And the body just starts doing its thing.
Oils, including the so-called healthy oils like coconut oil, olive oil,
All oils.
avocado.
Oil
Really?
is oil is oil. Even the oil in your car, it's oil.
Why is that a thing? I think the current idea in the zeitgeist right now is there are good oils and there are bad oils, and it sounds like you've kind of globbed them all together. What's behind that? What have you found?
Because it oxidates with the air. So it doesn't matter if it's a good oil or a bad oil, it's going to be exposed to the air for more than 15 minutes. It's going to oxidize just like an avocado when you open it up on your counter. It's the same thing. It's just you don't see it because it's hidden in a dark bottle.
And so what is the oxidized oil? What problems does that cause?
Free radical damage, it goes into your body and it bonds with cells. So we're talking about cellular damage here. And that can lead to cardiovascular disease, it can lead to what we call the sea monster and things of that nature.
Mhm. So, any other fats that you espouse?
Yeah, fats in their whole form are fine.
Such as?
Uh, a ribeye steak, um, high quality butter, ghee, beef tallow, yeah, whatever floats your boat. Yogurt,
Interesting.
but oils are, it's fat juice.
It's a great way to put it. I
It's
haven't
fat.
thought of it.
It's fat juice. It's not natural. It's not something that you would be out in the wild and be like, oh, let me get my fat juice. You just wouldn't. In the 80s and 90s, the Mediterranean diet was promoted very heavy, and we started getting on oils, and cardiovascular disease shot through the roof.
Yeah. And it did when fats were restricted.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. That's
all
right.
fats, not just
Absolutely.
oils.
Absolutely. And so, there was a campaign when Crisco came out, was the 1950s, I believe, and it was patented by Procter and Gamble, and they wanted to promote Crisco. So they put out a campaign saying that animal fats were bad and vegetable fats were good. And there's the birth of it right there. And, there's a lot of people want to debate, but, the bottom line, the bottom line is that heart disease is the number one killer in the world right now in 2025. So obviously, none of this worked. Statin drugs don't work. None of it's worked. And it's on the people. It's on the people. The government's not going to change it. Nobody's going to change it. It's on us to change our ways, which then changes where the money goes.
Well, and margarine too with
Margarine's
Crisco.
horrible. Yeah,
Margarine
horrible.
was yeah,
Yeah,
we always had margarine when I was growing up because
same
it was
here.
supposedly healthier than butter.
Same here. And orange soda, which is probably orange dye, right?
Right.
And just all this stuff, growing up on all this stuff, candy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The interesting thing about the the margarine and the Crisco, I'm just thinking in my head, I have old cookbooks that belong to family members, or they were those ones that a church ladies auxiliary was selling, and it was bound at Kinko's, and it was Sally Mae's favorite macaroni and cheese recipe and Susie Q's, cinnamon roll recipe and all that, and a lot of those call for Crisco by name, not just, use a butter or a margarine. They'll say, "No, specifically use Crisco in this recipe." Which is fascinating when you think about the power of marketing. How were we all sold on the fact that that was gonna be healthier than butter and regular animal fat?